On the morning of May 24, 2019, Jennifer Dulos dropped her 5 children off at school in New Canaan, Connecticut, and vanished. When investigators arrived at her home, they found blood evidence scattered across the garage floor, along with clear signs of a frantic cleanup effort. 3 miles away, her Chevrolet Suburban sat abandoned near a local park. Suspicion immediately fell on her estranged husband, Fotis Dulos. Fotis was a wealthy luxury homebuilder, locked in a bitter, high-stakes custody battle with Jennifer. He was also a man who considered himself exceptionally intelligent, smart enough, he believed, to outwit law enforcement. Historically, without a physical witness and without a victim's body, securing a murder conviction is incredibly difficult. Prosecutors need an unbroken chain of evidence to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, and Fotis had spent months making sure no such chain existed. His strategy relied on what investigators call a paper alibi. On the day Jennifer disappeared, Fotis intentionally left his primary cell phone at his residence at 4 Jefferson Crossing. This created a digital proxy, a piece of paper that said he was home all morning. To execute the crime, he deliberately stripped away modern technology. He drove an older Toyota Tacoma belonging to an employee and rode a vintage 10-speed bicycle to Jennifer's house. He wanted to ensure he left 0 personal digital footprints during the attack itself. Fotis had planned a brilliant 20th century crime, but he was operating in a 21st century reality, completely surrounded by a constantly recording, invisible grid of residential cameras, traffic monitors, and data uplinks. Leaving a cell phone on a desk creates a convincing alibi on paper, but as investigators began pulling the surrounding data, they realized that his paper alibi was entirely contradicted by the automated digital net recording his physical reality. That afternoon, Fotis and Michelle Triconis made frantic trips between his home and 80 Mountain Spring Road. They repeatedly swapped vehicles: a white Jeep, a Chevy Suburban, a Toyota Tacoma, and a Ford Raptor. Leaving their phones behind, Fotis assumed these shuffles were untraceable. A neighbor's private security camera pointed at the street captured the Raptor and the Tacoma traveling in tandem toward the Mountain Spring property, firmly linking the employee's truck to Fotis's movements. Then came a critical piece of telemetry. Fotis's Ford Raptor had an active OnStar module. That system recorded the truck being shifted into drive at exactly 5:10 p.m. at his primary residence, permanently pinning his exact location to a specific moment. By overlaying the private camera footage with the OnStar data, police proved the phone alibi was a staged performance. Every attempt Fotis made to shuffle vehicles only generated a deeper ledger of evidence against him. The final miscalculation filming his own cover-up. By January 2020, the digital dragnet had pulled tight. Facing airtight charges of capital murder, kidnapping, and evidence tampering, Fotis Dulos chose to end his own life via carbon monoxide poisoning in his garage. He left behind a handwritten suicide note, defiantly denying any involvement in his wife's disappearance. He offered no explanation for the overwhelming evidence, stating only that his attorney could, quote, explain what happened with the bags on Albany Avenue. Fotis's death did not close the case. In 2024, his girlfriend and alleged accomplice, Michelle Troconis, stood trial for her role in the cover-up. Even without Fotis in the courtroom, and even without Jennifer's body ever being found, the prosecution's case was devastating. The staggering weight of the digital footprint, the OnStar data, the cell logs, the camera footage, convinced the jury. Troconis was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to 14.5 years in prison. The surveillance grid caught the primary perpetrator, and it ensured that anyone who helped him try to bury the truth would share his ruin. Fotis Dulos believed by ditching his phone and riding a bicycle, he could turn back the clock to an era when crimes could easily be hidden in the shadows. His failure proved a new reality for modern investigations. Today, prosecutors no longer rely solely on physical witnesses or even the presence of a body to prove that a murder took place. Human arrogance is ultimately no match for an algorithm. In the 21st century, a killer's digital exhaust will always outlast their alibi.